It's a different flex when your entire friend group is full of married women. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is such a cute post. There is no way anybody could possibly hate on me. Women will literally marry Deshaun Watson, insinuating that these women just married anybody just for the sake of being married. Y'all hate the idea of a happily married woman because you can't find a good man. You will never catch me idolizing marriage. LMAO. I bet this got 2-3 kids by 2-3 baby daddy. What an achievement. ... The shade in those 2 dots. How many of them cheating? I wasn't going to be drafted into the gender wars because typically I don't care about other people's lives, but the only thing necessary for evil to prosper is for good men to do nothing. And it is pure evil the way these women have demonized men to the point where they think there's just no good men around. Just because you open your legs up for ain't ass men does not mean women can't find a good man. Sis, they on here saying you're a man and abuser. IDK. Of course they are. I never thought a video of hands would make people this.
We need to talk about not all men, but always a man. Except for when it's a woman. I'm sorry, Casey Anthony, Sherry Papini, Ghislaine Maxwell. In those cases, there was a woman. Like, at least we're starting to acknowledge the not all men part, I guess. It's just so aggravating that we have yet another slogan that forces all men to wear the mantle and identity of the worst, most depraved minority of them, especially when it doesn't survive the other way around, and I don't even mean the gender swap. What I mean by that is that men also take up the majority of laborers who build infrastructure, the majority of firefighting personnel, and disproportionately work the world's most dangerous jobs. But when a baby is pulled out of a burning building, people don't say, not every man, but always a man. Y'all would hate that and immediately remind us that women are also capable of saving babies from burning buildings, even though statistically the patterns are the same. In fact, did you know that what the data and research actually points to is that it's more like not all men, only 1% of them? Multiple studies since the 60s have told us that only 1% of the population of all men is responsible for over half of all crimes. So it's really not true at all that all men are bad or dangerous. It's just that the small amount of bad and dangerous men are doing almost all of the bad and dangerous stuff. But definitely not all of it. We as women can't just shirk all of the blame for all of the bad and dangerous stuff onto men. That's bullcrap. Like, you were almost there. You finally had it. You finally said, not all men. Just leave it at that. Leave it at that. It's good. It's good there. Unless you want me to start all womaning stuff. No, you don't want me to paint women under the same monolithic umbrella? Okay, I thought so.
Does being an attractive woman make dating more difficult?
Absolutely.
Or easy for you?
It makes it harder, and especially when you're career driven, it makes it like 10 times harder.
When you say 10 times harder as a career driven woman, what do you mean?
I think that men are scared of women in power, so then when it comes down to dating them, they feel like inferior to them instead of like a partner, where it should be like a partnership.
How have some of the men that you've dated before shown you that they're inferior to you?
To be honest with you, I've actually haven't been dating, so I've been single for a really long time.
How long are we talking?
I was married for almost 10 years and then we separated, so I've been single now for 5 years.
What your 10-year commitment to this man?
Woman.
Oh, you were married to a woman?
Yes.
Why'd you end your marriage with her?
We just grew apart, you know? My parents got sick. I had to move back home, and it was just kind of like things happen. We grow apart, and you just can't really move on from certain types of situations, you know? I think a lot of it had to do with that she didn't feel good enough to be with somebody like me. She always felt like insecure and, you know, I guess like that I was more superior, and it was never like that. But that's how she felt.
So the same problems you run into with men, you ran into with women too.
Yeah, and like even now, like it's really hard to find somebody who's like, hey, I only have like 15 hours out of the week to date with you. Like, is that okay? And a lot of people just don't want that. Or you run into the problem of like men don't want to actually have like conversations, and it just comes into they want to just have, and it kind of just like makes it hard.
So ideally, are you shooting for a woman or a man now?
I think that I'm shooting for more for a man, to be honest with you. I had a really great relationship with my ex-wife. Like, I'm really happy for what we had, but you know, on to new things. You never know.
Can you think of a single time ever in history where women have collectivized and used force to take anything from men?
Not force.
And so if that's the case and men have a monopoly on force, you're always going to have to appeal to them to not use it on you. Because here's the dirty truth, and it's brutal, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to lie to you. I know that if men collectivize in the West and decide to put women in little cages, there's not a they can do about it. So they really have to appeal to the benevolence of men, and all they do is demonize them, and that's crazy to me.
So I mean, again, like when I mentioned earlier how that kind of justifies like any tyrannical invading force, do you think
there's not a justification, it's a descriptive.
The less powerful party in that situation should just appease to the oppressor or the invading force?
The thing is that, let me ask you this. If you have somebody who's larger than you are and can beat you up, do you talk to them?
No, not necessarily.
Why not?
So they don't beat me up.
They don't beat you up, right?
But there should still be some kind
Hang on. Is that a form of appeasement?
Well, I just distance myself from this person.
So it's not a form of appeasement?
But a third party
Hang on.
witnessing-
Answer the question I asked first. Is it a form of appeasement when someone's much larger than you, so you don't talk to them because you don't want to get beat up? Is that appeasing?
I mean, you're not really doing anything in that
Right.
situation.
It's not appeasement then. So when we're talking about this, it's not appeasement
But if you
either.
Even today, the average IQ of a man is 99 and 97 for a woman. More importantly, however, 7 out of 8 people in the top 1% of IQ are men. Sorry, love, I know it's triggering, but every single man in this chat would dominate intellectually.
But do you realize that that's because men are offered greater opportunities of education?
Men do,
Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa,
men
hold
do
on,
worse.
hold on,
Men
hold
do
on.
worse in college.
Wait,
they do
hold on.
worse in college.
Wait,
what?
Maren,
You're
hold on,
literally
Maren.
saying that men are intellectually more smarter.
Wait, Maren, are you sure about that?
I'm positive.
So just to be okay, so the statistics would seem to disagree with you.
How so?
Well, ever since it's either 1979 or 1980, there's been more women who go to college than men. That's 4 decades of there being a greater representation of women in higher education. This number today is something like, I think it's 60-40 split. So what this means is, so women who went to university in 1979, 1980, they're now retiring. So you've essentially had an entire workforce through the period of that workforce where women started going to university more than men.
So I just left the tire shop because I had to get a tire replaced. Obviously, I had a flat tire.
Just by the title of this video, entitlement coming in 3, 2, 1.
And as I'm getting out of my car to hand it over to the folks, there's 2 seats, 2 like folding chairs sitting under an umbrella, both occupied by grown men. And as I'm getting out of my car, one of the guys looks over at me, looks at my car, and I'm thinking he's about to offer me his seat.
And there you have it, only 10 seconds later. Ladies, why do y'all feel so entitled to what people already have? Y'all do this with men in every facet of life. It's not just with giving up seats. Y'all literally walk around thinking just because I am a woman, I am entitled to things. A creator by the name of the Black Shawn Michaels once said, ladies, what is something that is socially acceptable that men can require from women? Because women have a laundry list of what they think men should be or what they should be doing. But what is it that men can actually say in return? Not to mention, what millennium are you living in? Feminism chivalry long time ago. Y'all wanted equality. This is what it looks like. How many times do we have to say this? You can't have special treatment, i.e. chivalry, and have equality. That's not how this works. You should have got there before those men and got to the chair first.
He goes, is that a hybrid? No, he goes, is that electric? And I'm like, no, it's a hybrid. And he goes, how do you like it? Why are you talking to me?
So the same man that can't even spark up a general conversation about something basic about your car is the same man that you want to give up his seat to you. Y'all hoes and lost y'all mind.
Offer me your seat. Where's the chivalry? Like, what the fuck? It's hot as hell. Why did you not offer me your seat, sir?
Same reason why you didn't offer him your number when he sparked up a conversation. No one's entitled to give you anything the same way you're not entitled to give them anything. Yo, this is getting... I don't get it anymore. But you know what? I ain't gotta listen to me. I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
You know, Lauren was bringing out a great point about it's not all men, but it's always a man. And I feel like there was another clip where he was covering, and it was on a show, he was covering, there were 50 women that got pregnant by 6 men and had 87 children. 87 children, 6 men, 50 women. 50 women went and scoped out the same 6 men. And now we have the same thing over here when we're talking about crime and some other stuff, right? It's the same 1% of men committing this crime. It's not even me. If y'all are afraid and y'all are watching out for these men, guess what men are doing? watching out for these same men. I don't want to be touched by this guy. I don't want this guy around me either. If this guy comes around me, I'm going to stop this guy. But like she said, most modern women will never acknowledge when a man does right. They'll only say when a man does wrong, oh, it's not every man, but it's always a man. But if a man were to do something like she talked about, rescue a child or rescue somebody off of the side of the road or stop somebody from drowning or whatever, what have you, do a good work. Oh, it's not all men, but it's always, they're not going to say that. They're going to start talking, well, women do that, and anything you can do, I can shut up.
I would love to get married again, but now it seems like men don't want to get married anymore.
This is my place. Stop playing the victim. Stop. You stop. You stop.
All right, that's it. I'm calling the cops.
Hey.
I'm calling the cops.
This is why men don't want to get married anymore.
It's funny. It's funny. I hate you. Bro, you're a weird too. Like, it's not funny.
Why are men so hesitant to commit to marriage these days?
I told you to stop texting her. I don't understand why she is the priority here.
I mean, what's a text? Did you see what the text said?
It doesn't matter what it says. You can ignore it.
I can't say happy birthday?
No, you absolutely cannot say happy birthday. Why is that impossible for you to understand?
I mean, I grew up with a girl. It's not that big of a deal.
I don't care. I do not care.
It's absurd.
If the person that you're with is asking you not to do something, wouldn't you be like, yes, I love you so much, I'm going to not do that anymore.
Excuse me. Look, you gotta be quiet. We have other customers.
Mind your business, okay?
Oh, mind my business?
Yes.
Mind my business.
Okay.
I get the authorities. You can mind your business.
Why aren't men getting married anymore?
What?
Do you know what you did?
Yeah, I got paper plates like you asked me to.
We're not wealthy.
Yeah, that's why we're getting paper plates.
You got Dixie brand.
Okay. They were 3 for $15.
That's
They're on sale. I thought it'd be good.
That's $5 for 44 plates. I normally get like 100 pack for like $3.50.
Okay, they didn't have that at the dollar store.
They have.
I did the
plates.
math. Yeah. Dude, that's 11 cents a plate. That's good for Dixie.
You're acting like we hit the lottery, Jason.
Oh my gosh.
And Bounty too. You have just gone off the deep end.
The way that when men say they don't want to get married,
say those things, if I don't do anything to you that threatens your life, guess what? You're broken up with me now, right? Okay. Stop being this fucking dramatic.
They're fucking filming us. Like, stop.
Hey, what the fuck?
A lot of us were raised by women who hate men. Women who had so much unresolved pain, bitterness, and trauma that they passed that hatred down. Nobody wanted to talk about it because it disrupts the narrative that women can do no wrong. But be honest, how many of y'all grew up hearing, don't depend on no man, all men are dogs, don't let no man play with you, men only want one thing, but not once did they tell you how to choose a good man. Not once did they tell you how to communicate with a man. Not once did they tell you that not all men are your enemy. The wild part about it is most of those women wasn't healing. They was projecting. They was recruiting you into their war against men that they started, that they lost, and that they never recovered from. Now whole generations of women is out here fighting battles that they never experienced. Blaming men they never even met. Getting into relationships already angry at somebody who isn't even in the room.
What's your plan when men stop doing the dirty and dangerous jobs that keep society running?
Can you give me an example of which jobs you're referring to?
Logging, plumbing, crab fishing, oil rig. When men stop doing the dangerous jobs, when men stop getting married, when men stop having kids, what's your plan?
I'm not worried about that.
Of course you're not.
No. I don't have a plan, Pearl, for a situation in which men no longer do those jobs.
The very microphone you're using was built by men. The building was built by men. And there's no gratitude or appreciation. You just tell them they're not doing enough. Future is not going to be great for feminists. You guys are going to get the equality that you're asking for. Men are not going to protect women in the streets. Men are going to stop signing up for the infrastructure jobs. The birth rate's going to keep falling, and the future is going to be bleak.
Let's say you get married. Will you keep your last name or hyphenate in marriage?
I think I'll keep my last name.
You'll keep your last name?
Yeah. Just because my mom did.
She didn't hyphenate?
Nope.
What about for the kids? Do you have hyphenated?
I have my dad's.
You have your, okay.
Yeah.
So what was the point of that?
You raised your hand to all of my previous questions. Men should pay on first dates, men should provide, protect, men should be chivalrous, husbands should be willing to protect. I don't know, if you want your husband to for you, you gotta take his last name.
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta take his
minimum.
last name. What do men get? Women don't want to take the last name, they don't want to be submissive, they don't want to cook, they don't want to clean. What are men getting for all the traditional things that men do?
Nothing.
Yeah. Like, why won't you take the last name?
I like my last name.
Even if the guy has a really bad last name and your last name is the dopest last name ever, sorry.
I call my husband daddy in the bedroom and sir when he's handling business. I am a wife. I am soft, and I am happier, wetter, richer, and more powerful than 99% of the so-called strong, independent women screaming at me online. Here's why. And the data that will never make you settle for a combative woman ever again. Fact number 1. Women who feel led have 4 times more orgasms. Archives of behavior in 2022. This is 15,000 women, okay? Found that women in relationships where the man is the undisputed leader report 4 times more orgasms per week, 70% higher satisfaction, and 3 times more likely to actually initiate themselves. Imagine that. What does this translate to? When she doesn't have to be the man, her body finally relaxes enough to flood. Fact number 2, egalitarian marriages fastest. A 20-year University of Norway study showed that couples who split chores 50-50 and take turns leading have a divorce rate 50% higher than those where the man clearly leads. Why is this? Because the polarity collapses, the tension dies, and the bedroom gets cold. Fact number 3, masculine leadership creates feminine surrender and insane loyalty. It's as simple as that. When a woman feels her man is fully in charge of direction and protection, her oxytocin, her pair bonding hormone spikes 300%. That is the same chemical that makes new mothers for their babies. Give her that safety and she will burn cities before she ever betrays you. This is what real submission looks like in my house. He makes the money. I have some side hustles, but when my husband walks through the door, I am barefoot, voice soft, eyes up. I ask, how do you want me tonight, baby? He tells me, I obey. And I fly so high, I forget my own name sometimes because I'm not carrying the whole world. He is. Call it unfair, I call it balance. That's not weakness. It's the smartest trade that I have ever made. Men, stop dating women who hiss at the word submit. They are showing you that they never truly relax around you, that they will never give you that wild, devotional rider love that you are craving. Find the woman strong enough to kneel, secure enough to call you a king without any sarcasm. That woman isn't broken. She is rare. She is peace, and she is the last 10 out of 10 that you are ever going to need. Protect her, lead her, own her, and watch her turn in your entire bloodline into legends. That's biblical, that's biological. That is the cheat code that has been erased. So take it back.
I'm gonna let her talk and I'm gonna explain after.
To coach our coaches' classes and sessions. Let's decode what men really mean when they say certain things. Excuse number 1. If he says I'm so stressed out, he's broke. Says I'm going through a lot, he's broke. If he says I'm fighting my demons right now, he's broke. If he says I have a lot on my plate, he's broke. Last but not least, if he says I'm severely overwhelmed, what does that mean, class? He is broke. Good job. A's across the board.
Now, I'm not gonna go with the unhammered attacks and attack her figure at all. I'm just gonna speak what she said. I'm gonna attack the argument. Now, I did make a comment on her page, and here it is. And I said, nah, rich men go through other things besides finances. This applies specifically for ones who aren't rich. Hey, she's just talking about the money. Now, like I said, I wasn't gonna attack her, I'm just gonna attack the argument. Typically when women say, I'm working on myself, she big as Typically when women say, I'm battling demons, she big as And when women say, I don't feel good and something is wrong and I'm mentally going through something, you guessed it, she big as and you want want to get married, pack it up.
And you see in a lot of these clips, modern women just give men the blues for no reason. And then they're going to ask why a man doesn't commit. They're going to ask why a man doesn't want to be bothered. They're going to ask why they can't find a man that will listen to them, who will be their therapist, who will be their rock, their everything, their all in all, will be loyal, will buy them things, will put them in their feminine, and the list goes on. Why can't I find a man like that? A good guy. Just a guy to treat me like a lady, to put a flower in my hair, to brush my hair back, and to give me a massage whenever I want, to bring me coffee on a bad day, to bring me ice cream on a stormy night. How come I can't find a man who's going to run my bath water and put candles and a glass of wine in there for me and take the kids and just leave me be for the next 4 or 5 hours while I just soak? How come I can't find a man to do that? Well, we can go back to the clip where the woman asked the man to go get paper plates. The man went and got paper plates, and she's all on film hollering and screaming at the guy because he didn't get the particular brand of paper plates that she wanted.
No disrespect to you when I say, okay? I think that sometimes some of y'all women really don't understand how territorial men are. That's biologically how they are. It's different if you were covered up, but baby, you got titty tape on. So yes, of course, a man who knows how men are going to look at you, knowing that there's going to be men who are going to be predators or going to pursue you, he's right for saying that. That's not meaning that he's insecure. He's territorial. That's a man's nature, and that's absolutely okay. It's your responsibility as his woman to understand his nature and to also have boundaries with yourself. Knowing what you are exposing yourself to. I'm going to say this. I'm going to be quick. I'm so glad I can have conversations with my husband because I asked him, we had a deep conversation. I said, what is it about women that will make you not wife her? And the first thing he said, the way she presents herself. That's coming from a man. Men will tell you that if you dress provocative, they're going to see you as an object. If you dress sexual, they're going to see you as an object. Stop calling men insecure. That is their God-given right to say, I don't want my woman to present herself out here because not only is she a representation of me, she's a representation of herself. I need to see how you see yourself. I know we always talk about women's empowerment. Dressing like that is not women's empowerment, baby. You can try it all day long. There's nothing empowering about that.
Okay. I asked a bunch of girls, when was the last time a man approached you at a bar and started talking to you? And I thought this was just me thing, but they were all like, no, it hasn't happened in, I can't even tell you how long, like before COVID. And I thought that was a me experience. I was like, okay, maybe I give off like a standoffish vibe. I don't know. I don't think so. But no, they all agreed. They're like, I can't tell you the last time a man tried to talk to me at a bar. A man tried to offer to buy me a drink. Do men still do that? Men, can you weigh in? And I don't even need the drink, but like the last time, and I'll go up and talk to guys, but like, can someone explain?
Ladies keep asking this, but when are you going to realize that there are consequences to your words and actions? It's because men would rather keep to themselves than to be called a creep, or at the very least be publicly embarrassed, or at worst be accused of something. A lot of women do not realize that because of social media, a lot of young men believe that women despise them. Between the 4B movement, the it's all men until no men, and picking the bear over the man, because of this, most of them assume that women genuinely want nothing to do with them.
Women might not even realize that they're pushing their man away until it's too late, until he's gone. Here's how you notice. It's not always cheating that drives men out. It's disrespect, constant negativity, emasculinizing him, belittling him, and making him feel like no matter what he does, it's never enough. When men feel drained instead of inspired, they don't explode, they retreat, they stop opening up, they stop putting in effort, they stop fighting for the relationship, and then the women play the victim, acting blindsided when he finally leaves. But the truth is, you created an environment where he couldn't thrive, where his presence felt like a burden instead of a blessing. And men will not stay where they feel unvalued, unseen, unappreciated. So if your man is pulling away, stop pointing the finger at him and look in the mirror. You might be the reason. Respect him, admire him, build him up instead of tearing him down, because the moment he realizes peace exists without you, he'll never come back. And that's a hard truth most women don't want to hear.
Once you've dated a certain caliber of man, that's kind of going to be your benchmark. And then the guy who you end up perhaps being with, the guy who you can actually get commitment from, you're going to almost hold that guy in contempt because you almost feel like you're settling, when in reality, despite your ability to procure casual relationships with men who are really attractive or who have a lot of money or who have high status, of course these men would never commit to you. The guy who's actually on your level, you're going to think that because you were able to secure those men for, albeit casual, you think that that's your level, that's your league, but that's not your league. Your league as a woman is the man that you can get commitment from, the man that you can get marriage from, not the guy who you can, because you can a really high status dude, you can a rich guy, you can a really hot dude, does not mean you'll be able to get commitment from a guy who's on that level.
That's very true.
Here's some crazy research for you. So a third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner. Even if you weren't to remarry, just to have a partner. I mean, I've talked to a lot of men. I've got my answers, but I want to hear it in the comments. So please, drop it in the comments.
What we've seen is feminism pushing women into a male life history trajectory, into the role of breadwinner. Men who follow those trajectories get the prizes, they get the wives, they get the children, they get the good jobs. Women are attracted to men who have those resources. Women pushed into following that trajectory find that men are not looking for women for those resources particularly. They're actually looking for women who are fertile. They'll spend all their prime reproductive years following this male life history trajectory, get to their 30s, and find that all of the male peers are marrying younger women and having children with them, and they're freezing their eggs. If they manage to meet somebody on internet dating and they have to go through that, then they end up on IVF, and 50% of them end up never having children.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'1", but I'm about 6'5" right now.
Would you say that dating at 6'5" is just as easy for you as it is shorter women?
No, probably harder for me a little bit.
Why is that the case?
I find a lot of men who don't want tall women. I was actually talking with my friend who's 6'5" without heels, and they often feel like they have to compete with us. So it's very hard to date a woman who's very tall. I would say 5'10" plus. If a man is competitive, it will come out for sure.
But what's your preference? Does your man have to be taller than you two?
No, I would say my preference of what I like would be 5'10" and up. I'm 6'1", like I said, without heels. But if it is my soulmate and he's 5'8", I would totally be with him. I've dated a guy that's 5'8",
So why do so many men get caught up in, I'm not 6 foot, she's probably not even going to give me a shot?
Because unfortunately, a lot of women do judge height, and a lot of women do have this trend of, he needs to be 6 foot plus, he needs to be 6 foot plus, and it's like a check. It's like a box they have to check. And it's going to limit so many women from being actually happy, because if you're hyper-focused on the physical, you're never going to be happy. Looks fade very quickly. Height fades very quickly. If looks were all that mattered, Hollywood couples would never break up. I dealt with it when I was younger, and when I listened to the haters of men saying, oh, I want a short girl, I want a little girl, I want a little side piece, I don't want a tall girl that's taller than me. And now I don't listen to that. I listen to the positivity and I embrace that. And I hope that men do the same when they hear women like me say height doesn't matter.
You give no hope for the ones that think that they're not as pretty as you. I just want to let you know. Sarah, you got to think about the women who look at you and aspire to have any level of success that you have, and they hear you say that you are a 6. Hey, like, I don't got no hope for me. Like that's insane.
They don't put in the work. And that's a valid point. What I would say to those women is, do the things that level out the playing field. Make sure you're getting your nails done, your hair done. You're doing the best with your genetic potential. You're fit for whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't mean you got to be skinny. It just means best for your genetic potential. Make sure that you are kind. You are nurturing. You do have a sense of humor, because there are plenty of women that are not astoundingly beautiful that have great husbands that love them down. I am one of them. I am not astoundingly beautiful. And honestly, if I didn't have this energy, y'all probably wouldn't. That's probably a big part of it. Because you know me. That might be why you're like, oh, you're an 8, because I know how to make people feel good. I pull it out of them. I'm going to edify whoever I'm with. Like,
That's
there
true.
are things about me that probably make you think that I'm just beautiful. But aesthetically, if you line me up, you get some Brazilians, you get some Italians, you get some Africans, people from Kenya. Oh my God. Guyanese people. There's so many women when you look at them, and it's just like everything is just, y'all blow me out the water on my best day. And I'm okay with that, because guess what? I'm still married. I'm still married, and I'm married to the man that everybody tried to lock down and couldn't.
That's real. I think
I'm still married to the man that has all
that's
the
why
things.
they
He
met.
passes up all of the 6s, passes all of them up. It's okay for you not to be the most beautiful woman. How are you leveling out the playing field?
And you know, you can look at, you know, I'm looking at this clip of Kitty, and she's talking to this lady. I think it was on Tonight's Conversation. You know, you shouldn't have to tell these women certain things. This woman, I think she came to the thing, she got her breasts all out. She got her breasts all out, man. And you kind of look at you like, who would want that? I mean, this is the type of woman that you go out with for a night, right? You might, if you, I hate to say it like this, but this is the type of woman that you rent. This is the type of woman that, oh man, I want the baddest. One night, I want the baddest woman. Like, if we go into some sort of event or something like that, if I'm doing a music video or I'm doing some sort of, I don't know, promo, right? I'll hire you as one of my models, my video model or video vixen or whatever they call them now. I'm gonna hire you. If I want to go to a red carpet event, I will hire you to walk the red carpet with me for some movie premiere, because I'm trying to get eyes on me. And you'll probably wear whatever risque thing that I would want you to wear or I would need you to wear, because we need attention. That's how that would work. But as far as being with you as a good wife or something like that, probably not.
I don't think men leave happy homes. I think they leave once that respect is gone. I have been divorced for 8 years. I was with my ex-husband for a total of 10 years, and we have a child together. And these are some of the things that I have learned along the way. And no, it did not come overnight, but ladies, listen up. If you want true loyalty from a man, ladies, you have got to stop making your husband or significant other the punchline for your social media likes and the gossip ring for your girlfriends. And don't forget, respect is like oxygen for a man. You take it away long enough, and I'm gonna tell you what, honey, he is gonna suffocate. And men don't just wake up one day and just decide to leave. Men leave after the same repetitive days, like coming home after working hard all day, to the nagging, complaining, moaning, and griping. This in the ear as soon as they walk in the door. And sometimes you hear these women say, I don't know what happened, he just changed. Or maybe he just adjusted to the way that you've been treating him. And some of you I know are going to say, well, it sounds like he just can't handle a strong woman. Then, no, I'm pretty sure he can handle a strong woman. He doesn't want to handle a disrespectful one. So when your husband gets home from work, hug him, tell him you love him, how much you appreciate him, how much you're thankful for the hard work that he does to provide for your family. Because I'm telling you, you do not want to be on the other side of this fence.
Do you know what I've noticed? So many men in relationships will tolerate a relationship and will tolerate so much crap that the woman will do to the man in a relationship. But as soon as a woman is in a relationship where she feels like the man is not treating her right or not doing enough for her, she will immediately associate it with, I can do better in my head, and then she will only think about herself, and she will throw away everything and hurt the man just to go and find what she thinks she's missing. Women don't fight for relationships as much as men do, but then women say that men are the ones who are always breaking up with them, men are the ones who are always leaving them, and men are the ones who are always cheating on them. From what I've seen, men are much more likely to actually try and make a relationship work and to actually try and stay and even suffer in a relationship for much longer than a woman would. Like, let me know why you think that is, or if you've noticed that too, because I don't really get it.
I totally understand why men wanted their wives to stay home and do the cooking and the cleaning while they worked. There was a point in time where my boyfriend stayed home because he had a work from home job, and I was working full time, going to work and from work. And he did everything. He did the cooking, he did the cleaning, he did the all of that. I would go to work, I would come home, dinner, ready, laundry, done, floors, vacuumed, okay? All of it, right? It was like, this is what it feels like to have a stay-at-home wife. It was bliss.
Let me just say, I think this is pretty dope. I love the fact that she's able to experience what a lot of men have experienced over the years. Not so much nowadays, but back in the days, this happened all the time. But I do want to say, this is pretty interesting to me, considering the fact that he is doing the exact same thing a stay-at-home wife would be doing, and he's still working a full-time job. She said the man works from home. I didn't say it, she said it. So that means this man is cooking, cleaning, doing the laundry, vacuum cleaning. This is what she said. But there are a bunch of women out here complaining when they have to do it without a job. I posted a video a while ago about this guy who has a 1-year-old. He works from home, but he takes care of the child, cleans the house, cooks, do all the stuff that a stay-at-home mother would do. And he was blown away by how easy this is. So I think it's time for y'all to come clean, ladies. It ain't as hard as y'all keep saying it is.
You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar.
Let's just be honest. I think it just comes down to bad organizational skills, bad time management, bad planning. And for some of those women, they're just plain lazy. But y'all gonna quit coming on here acting like being a stay-at-home wife is a big deal, because we on to y'all now.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
So what do you think men did historically? Like, what do you think their jobs were? Like 1800s, what were your choices as a man to do as a job? Because, you always talk about how women were held back historically. So I'm asking, like, what was life like back then?
Well,
1800s?
women had to stay home and men had to do all of the jobs because they didn't allow women to help them.
What were their jobs that they did? What were the most common methods of employment back then?
I mean, what do you mean? I mean, it's going to be construction, it's going to be medicine, it's going to be food production, it's going to be factories, it's going, like, the same thing that runs all of society.
So they had 3 choices: coal miner, farmer, factory worker.
Nothing else happened in society.
I'm not saying nothing else. That was the majority of how people were employed.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have this like rewritten history where you guys think that men just had these glamorous, fun jobs, but men did the difficult job. Men know that they didn't enjoy their jobs. Do you think of any guys going to a coal mine and saying, wow, this is my passion?
And again, who set that system up?
It's not about who set it up. It's how would the system run without it? They need coal. At the time, they needed coal. Like the same way now, somebody has to build the buildings. Somebody has to get the food. Otherwise, society does not run.
And today, on how sexism is only funny if it's about men, please see the following.
Under my leadership, women would not have to pay taxes. No, they wouldn't. You're a woman. No taxes for you. Everything is a tax write-off for you.
Oh, it gets better.
Next, tampons free. Pads free. Anything to do with menstrual cycle and pain is free, bitch.
And how are those going to be paid for? Oh, yeah, that's right. That half of the population that would be left paying taxes would be footing the bill for those.
Next, we are going to stop funding male medical research. No more of it. From now on, we are only doing studies and research for women, on women's health only. From here on out, thank you so much.
So half of the population is not deserving of medical research? Oh dear.
Next, all men must go to work under my leadership. Yes, you must. You must be at work. Providing for any woman and every woman in your life. It's a requirement under my leadership, bitch.
Yeah, no. There are those of us women out there that can actually take care of ourselves. Sorry that some don't fall into that category.
And finally, every man is guilty until proven innocent. That's just a quick little roundup under my leadership of what I'm aiming, okay? Thank you. This is a Simona project.
I'm sure I'm not the only one who's wondering, who exactly is going to be enforcing this new sexist regime? I wonder if they thought that part through.
Tierra, 43, Scorpio, works at a daycare, divorced.
I own a daycare. I don't work at once, Kendra.
Ooh, correct.
Wait a minute now.
You looking for a girl?
Someone successful. I cannot stress that enough. Someone about their bag.
What are your deal breakers?
Just a liar. Broke.
Should he make a certain amount of money?
Kendra, you gonna me for this one?
Now she keeps calling her ex-husband a bum, right? Pay attention.
But I'm gonna say 300,000 and more. So when you have a man, he needs to be able to provide with or without you.
Oh.
If something happens to my daycare and I fall, I need him to be able to pick me up.
She's still looking at a man as an insurance plan. Meanwhile, never considering if she's what a $300K a year man wants. But instead of hitting her with reality, her 43-year-old 3X used womb is hit with delusion because, you know, Kendrick's got a dating app to promote.
Okay. Did your ex-husband fit all these characteristics?
That's why he an ex.
Have you ever dated a man that fit all these characteristics?
Probably not.
That's why my goals are high now.
If there isn't a man that makes $300K that tries to date you, marry you, and all those things,
Look at the hamster
are you
wheel.
okay with never having another man until you see Jesus?
I think I will settle, but I will settle with at least 200. The minimum is 200.
So 200. So if a man makes 200K, does not try to date you, court you, be with you, you are fine being single for the rest of your life.
I'll just date, but not take anyone serious and be married.
You have it.
Whoa. Meaning she'll give the cookie up to the low achievers or the bums, as she put it. Meanwhile, charges a higher price for those that meet her money requirement. First off, women that have this income requirement are struggling. This hyper focus on money and not the character of the man will always denote that they're broke and hence broken. But baby girl, I gotta ask you, even if the man was making $200,000 per year, why would he get to 40 years of age and choose you as opposed to a younger, less womb used, more in shape, less baggage and trauma version of yourself?
And it's funny because you go back and look at the clip where Pearl was talking about, she was talking about how society runs and what men do in society, right? And so many times feminists want to blame men for what's going on and who set that system up. It doesn't matter who set it up. That's where we are today. So how are we going to fix it today? Well, you got to do this and you got to do, and I'm not going to keep on and all that other stuff. I didn't do it. You didn't do it. We're both in the same boat. Why do you keep on trying to blame me for something I didn't do? But that's what modern women do. They never take accountability. Like I said, you can take 99 as a man, 99% of the accountability and leave the 0.1% for her to take, or the 1% for her to take. And modern women will not take it. Always say, even when you just feeding them logic, just feeding it to them, just pumping it on logic. This is what makes sense. Logic. Even when you're pumping it on into them. And who set that system up? And how did that happen? And a man did this. And it's always going to be a man's fault, no matter how you look at it.